Hello, John. This is Dimitris calling from Chicago and Metal Kaoz. How are you?
What's up, Dimitri? How are you, brother?
I'm good. So, in Greece, there is a saying we can celebrate things like birthdays for 40 days. So, I'm allowed to say happy birthday to you, man.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. It was August 24th, but today's only the September 11th, and so I got the month yet still on
Yes,
my favor in my favor, but I haven't really been celebrating too much. I'm trying to prep for the tour and get ready. So I've been doing a lot of singing, but thank you for the birthday greeting. I appreciate it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Before we start talking about this stuff, I need to know what happened with the Category 7 March tour. I mean, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, me too, actually. Because once we booked it, we were fired up about going out and doing it. So I think some people just got some cold feet,
Uh,
people maybe even in the band, some promoters. We booked it like 6 months in advance. So, as much, I was just talking about this today to a journalist, and the reality is no matter how fairly famous some of us are in the band, the reality is it's still a new band in a way.
mm,
So, you have to kind of go in with low expectations because even though everybody has a reputation, doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's going to come out and see all these guys in this band because of the reputation we have.
mm.
So you have this new record, and the record got great critical acclaim, but you can't just assume that just because of everybody's reputation that you're going to pack every club. So sales started softly, but my attitude is we should have done the tour. We should have just went out and played. In retrospect, that's easy for me to say now, but looking back, we should have just went out and played. We may have had a couple shows that weren't great attendance wise. I'm sure a lot of them would have picked up and we would have had some great shows, but in retrospect, we made a mistake and we should have went out and did it. It was only 3 weeks. So,
Right.
and that didn't help the cause, but you know what? What are you going to do? The record still stands on its own. People love the record. It got great response at Liquid Metal and Jose. James Hetfield said great things about it, which is very nice. He doesn't have to do that, and he did, and that was awesome. So, what can you do? Long time from now, we'll look back and go, it was a great record. And now Category 7 is going to play these shows that I'm doing, celebrating the songs of Anthrax that I made, and so we get kind of a little second chance here.
Well, I hope promoters and managers understand that pre-sales are not as they used to be, right?
Yes, I know.
Things have
It's
changed.
tough.
Yeah.
There's a
Um,
lot of competition out there. There's a lot of bands touring. Heck, for the Armored Saint tour in October, we're struggling to find a guitar tech because everybody's busy and
mm,
unavailable. So just goes to show a lot of touring is happening. And it's after COVID. I mean, I know it's a long time from now, but a couple of years, nobody could go out on the road. So everybody's eager to go out and play, and it's just making it very competitive. So you just got to go in with low expectations and hope come day of the show, a lot of people show up, and as the show gets closer to the date, people get excited and want to come see you. So, you learn from these things. Hey, I'm 40 years in and I'm still learning.
yep. And let's not forget from the fans' perspective, with so many shows. I mean, how many shows can one go?
I know. It's
Right.
funny because, there's artists that I like that I'm really big fans of that tour a lot. And I don't even get a chance to go see them every tour because I make the decision. It's like, oh, I would like to see them again. I just saw them maybe 8 months, a year ago, but there's this other band I want to see, and they haven't played in a while, so maybe I'll go see them. So I won't go see the band that I like. So it's hard. I'm a fan myself. It's a difficult choice. Everybody has limited income that they could put towards entertainment. So, you even though a band tours a lot, and a lot of bands do, and that's how you make a living. And I get it because we're the same. The reality is there's only a certain amount of money that fans can pay to see you every time.
Yes.
It's just the truth. So that's why it's good when you do packages because then they're like, oh, I got to see both those bands. The same for VIPs. Sometimes we get a little disappointed. Oh, the VIP sales are low, but it's like, how many times can you ask somebody to come back and pay $100 to meet the band and get handshakes and get a couple odds and end products? I'm always grateful for however many they come because we know it costs a lot of money to do that, and on top of the ticket and buying, a record, and it's just a lot. I know the investment that goes into to being a consumer as a fan, because I'm a fan too. So
Okay, so let's talk about the idea of playing songs from those four Anthrax albums. I feel that this is not a new idea.
well, I've been talking about it for a long time, obviously. I've been wanting to do it. It's just a matter of when I would actually finally take the cheese and go for it. And it was now. So somebody asked me why now, and I said there's really no reason. I mean, December I'm available, so I was like, let's do it. I was talking to some people, and I said that we did have a tour plan actually in the summer for this last summer that just passed in August in Europe, and we had to pull the plug on it because for whatever reason, there was a couple different reasons that we didn't do it. But there was a couple festivals and a couple headline shows, and I'm really disappointed that I ended up doing it. But for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And but this December thing is happening, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to play these songs. I've been practicing them here at my studio, and learning them and relearning them. And actually, a lot of the lyrics are still coming back to me, which I'm happy about. But
Really?
killer, yeah, there is. It's surprising how quickly you start singing it. It's like, I know these lyrics. But I think it's going to be fun. It's, certainly a nostalgic little trip. And, because these records, We've Come For You All came out in '03. So that's still over 20 years old. And
Mhm.
Sound of White Noise 93. So it's over 30 years old. So certainly it's nostalgic. But though I think the songs hold up, and it's going to be fun. We're going to play some deep tracks as well as the hits, and I'm really excited to do it.
To my mind, you also fill a gap because let's face it, Anthrax are not playing these songs because they have Joey.
Right.
And with so many records, it's kind of understandable they will play songs from Joey's era.
Me too.
So, right? So you coming out to play more songs from those albums, as I said, fills a gap. And to my mind, I have you joining Anthrax, bear with me, as Blaze Bailey joined Iron Maiden. It's kind of the same because now Iron Maiden do not play many, if any, Blaze Bailey songs.
Actually, they play one, don't they? I think they do play one Blaze Bailey song. I forget Freedom.
Right.
I forget the name of it, but yeah.
So it's you doing that. You are shining a light on those records that, let's say, that not currently treated fairly. Should I say that? Am I
Well, I'm in agreement with you, and like I said, I understand. For me, it's like if I don't do it, then and they don't do it, then they're just basically going to be put into the bin, into the garage, and you pull it
right?
out, 20 years from now. So, I want to give some light to those records because I did a lot involved with those
Mm-hmm.
records. I did press at the time. We wrote the songs. We toiled over the lyrics and the songwriting, and the record company issues, and then we went on tour and we busted our chops working hard on the road and promoting them. So like there's a big investment that was a part of my life in those records as well as the other guys. So we're just bringing it to light. Megaforce was nice enough to re-release those records on CD and LP over the last few years, and I'm really grateful. And again, I just want the opportunity for people to go out and buy those records if they want to. And again, like you said, shed a little light on it. So it's exciting. It's going to be fun. And like I said, they feel real fresh, actually, especially me just singing by myself to them. But I can't wait to hear the whole band playing. It's going to be awesome.
And let's not forget, we have new metalheads, we have new fans who have never seen you singing those songs. So,
Without a doubt. I mean, you see it with Pantera, the guys
yeah.
out touring with Pantera, there's tons of people that just had never seen Pantera back in the day with Diamond Vinny. So, and people, that's all they get. They're excited to see it. So, yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And, I'm real excited about it. And I think the tunes, like I said, they're really great. And I have this idea of having some people come out, a little bit
Mhm.
of guest stars here and there. I'm not mentioning who yet. It's still very early stages of that, but I think it'll be fun. I want it to feel very celebratory of it. I don't want it to feel like this is my version because that's not the philosophy at all. It's just really I'm part of the whole train of promoting and celebrating these songs and these records. So I'm just one part of it. But I wanted to feel like that, like a party kind of, if you will.
So I will return to that. So you said that you are practicing the songs. What are you trying to do? Trying to sound like John did in those albums? Or I don't know, are you adjusting your vocals to how you sound today?
Well, my voice has changed. A lot of people compliment me and say, "Dude, you sound the same as you always did," and I know that's a compliment. I appreciate it. But the truth of the matter is that my voice actually has changed a bit. I've gotten deeper. It's a little raspier, but if there's actually a warm middle ground spot where I actually sound, I think, great, and that's kind of like my sweet spot, if you will. So. I got to figure out where I was. I had to figure out some tuning. I'm learning, my voice was younger. When we recorded Sound of White Noise, I was like 28 years old. So, I just turned 62. So it was a while ago. So it's kind of like Armored Saint in the sense of singing, March of the Saint and Delirious Nomad, Raising Fear songs. I was just young. And so sometimes there's a little bit of adjustments here and there, but I try to do it as best I can to the original version, and then the sound of my voice, I think it sounds warmer actually. So yeah, it's I'm figuring stuff out as we go, but it's fun to sing them, and I've been having a good time with that.
You belong to a category of a small category of singers that I believe their voice has become better. You have
That's
more emotions, more colors, a wider palette, let's say.
That's very
So
kind of you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's I love singing and I just love using my voice in different ways and trying to make sure that I can still belt it out. It's a muscle, so you got to always kind of like you're always constantly training it, if you will, and that's where I'm at with it. So the more you sing, believe it or not, the stronger it gets. And that's kind of where I'm at. I use all the singers that inspired me, from Rob Halford to Dio to Phil Maud to Phil Lynott to Bruce Dickinson. These are just the guys in '70s that were my favorite singers. Klaus Meine, and then there's Chris Cornell and Mike Patton and Lane Staley, and I'm inspired by a lot of singers through the years. Some with us, some not, but people that are just great singers and some that are still going. I mean, Halford is still blowing
yeah.
doors down, with his voice. And so I kind of use that for inspiration and say, if he can do it, then let's see if I can do it. And that's where I go with it.
Small parenthesis. I like that you mentioned Mike Patton because I feel that he's underrated as a singer. He has a great voice.
Oh, Mike Patton's amazing. He can do so many different things. I mean,
Right.
that's the thing about Mike. He has so many different characters in his voice with all the different bands he's done. So,
Mm-hmm.
Faith No More is one of my favorite bands, and he's just at the top of the chain.
How did you, or are you still picking tracks to sing from those four albums? Or have you
I
decided?
am a little bit, I kind of figured I have a certain amount of songs that I think are kind of the winners, and mainly because I also, I have to give it to the other guys in the band and they have to learn it too. So,
Right.
I'm trying to be cool about it and saying that, here's 25 tunes, go. It's because I got to learn it too. And they're like, whoa, dude. But I also don't want to just be obvious about the songs that we play. I want to, of course, there's the hits, if you will, from every record, but the reality is I want to play in some deeper tracks and I want to play some of my favorite songs and maybe ones that maybe the band didn't even play that much back in the day. So we're kind of trying to figure it out. I added a couple here and there, and I don't want to go too crazy on my band members and give them too much to learn because it's a lot. And then you got to play these songs that Scotty and Charlie Benante and Frankie Bello played and dance bits, and Rob Caggiano, and like these are not easy tunes to play. They're very challenging.
Did I hear some of the guests that you are planning to get?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, as far as those guys are concerned, the guys in the band, I mean, the door's open, of course. They're their songs, you know what I mean? So if they want to come, they don't want to come, they want to play a tune, they want to play five tunes, the door is open. That's the way I see it. But, there's no obligation either.
Okay, so for these shows, how much time you and the guys you are in category 7, so how much you guys will be on stage?
Well, the C7 will be an opening set, of course, and so basically a support slot, and then we'll probably go off stage for a little bit, not too long,
Mhm.
and then come back on and do the Anthrax song. So, um, it's gonna be a lot. It's a big challenge. It's in the back of my mind here. It's a little daunting, but you know what? I figure let's go. It's 3 shows. Um, you know, I believe in myself, and I think we can. I can pull it off and kick some butt and then we'll see. I'm not really thinking past these first 3 shows. We're going to do
Okay.
this, and then we'll see what happens.
Because I was about to ask you, you said just these three shows. So of course, I will ask, will you be adding? I'm guessing, let's see, right?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's got to come in conjunction with Armored Saints putting out a record here in March and April, and a brand new album so we're very excited about. So I mean, we got our plates pretty full about touring with Saint and doing a lot of shows in conjunction with that. So everything's got to kind of fit together, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm in typical John Bush fashion. I'm taking things one little step at a time, and
Yeah.
um, sometimes I do that, and it's maybe not the best decision sometimes, but I don't like thinking too far into the future. I'm really a guy who kind of lives for today. Today we're doing an interview, and I'll be doing some practicing later, and then I'm going to shoot some hoops later tonight. So like that's today. I'm like I don't really think too far in advance, and maybe that's not necessarily the best way to approach things, but it's just my it's just my style.
No,
So
no, quite the contrary. I'm jealous of you living like that because my mind races all the time. And I'm thinking far down the future, even if it doesn't matter, because if you are not okay today, the future won't matter. So anyhow,
yeah, I mean, there's planning, of course. I have to
yeah,
plan.
yeah, of
I
course.
am
But
planning. I'm not just being completely
no,
um, you know,
I didn't say that.
oblivious to the fact that there's a lot of planning involved in all this. But, like I said, at the same time, I just kind of want to, kind of live for the moment a little bit. And for the moment, this is what's happening today.
This will be the only question about the past because I don't really like talking about the past. But to me, it's interesting. As I mentioned, Bailey replacing Dickinson. So in your case, um, were there any challenges, stepping in as a singer, replacing someone who has been around for a long time with the band?
Without a doubt. I mean, Joey Belladonna did amazing things with Anthrax back in the 80s, and I joined in the 90s, and it was not easy, no doubt about it. And Joey has a very distinctive, unique voice, and my voice is a bit different from his. So stepping in was not easy. He totally had to establish himself and did amazing. And I still revere Joey Belladonna. He's great, and I've been around him, and we never really have any issues, even though sometimes people want to create this, but there's
No,
nothing
honestly, I
there.
wasn't talking about that. I was talking about, how the fans see, because for whatever, no, not for whatever reason, the singer is the front face of the band. So when
Correct.
that happens, fans can lose it.
Without a doubt. And I feel the same. I'm a fan, as I've said many times in this interview so far, that myself. And, I know when like Sammy Hagar joined Van Halen and even when Dio, I was a huge Rainbow fan, but when he joined Sabbath, I was like, wow, this is going to sound cool, but no Ozzy, like
Yes.
what? Same with Brian Johnson. I mean, obviously they had to replace Pond because he died, but it's the same thing. It's singer changes are a voice change, and
Mhm.
so it's a difficult thing to do. And I know that people like some of my peers, like Mark Torino, who's been an Accept, and uh, uh, Todd from Queensryche. You're filling shoes of guys like Udo and Jeff Tate, who are incredible singers. This stuff's not easy to do. From the standpoint of just replacing legendary singers. So
Right.
I always have a lot of empathy for those guys because I know what I had to go through. But you just go in, you got to jump in and believe in yourself and believe that the fans will grow to love you. And most did, I think. Not everyone. I still see the comparisons online, and I don't get mad. I laugh. As I always just say, if somebody busts my balls, they just got to be funny about it. If they're mean and just hostile, and it's like, you're a dick. But if you're funny, then I'll laugh. But it's just the way it is. This is what we do. We go in and we just do the best we can as replacements. The same for guitar players and drummers. You can't, fill somebody's shoes who are, I mean, think about Michael Schenker, like that's not, you don't need to, going in and replacing Michael Schenker is no easy task. So, Vinnie Moore did it and he did a great job with UFO, but, it's Schenker. So it's like, these are the things that you just have to believe in yourself as a musician, as a singer, and jump in.
So, Michael Schenker, what Armored Saint have prepared for that tour?
Well, it's cool. We're just honoring the 40th anniversary of Delirious Nomad because that came out in 85, should I say. So we're gonna play like these little micro sets within the set of those songs from that record. And we're gonna start rehearsing on Monday to kind of try to incorporate some of those tunes, ones we haven't played since the 80s, actually. So hopefully they'll sound cool. Usually, again, this new fresh kind of enthusiasm breathes new life into these tunes. And it's a great record. Delirious Nomad's just a big fan favorite from Armored Saint fans throughout the years. And, it kind of came on the heels of March of the Saints. So it was very different, probably a little too different for the time because people are like, whoa. But in retrospect, and when time goes by and people look back, people love that album. And there's some classic songs like Aftermath and For the Sake of Heaviness and, Over the Edge and Nervous Man. And, not to mention Conquer, since we haven't played that song since the 80s. So we're going to try it. It's going to be fun.
So hearing that Armored Saint will be practicing these songs, rehearsing these songs, there is no more work done on the upcoming album? Is it
The
done?
record is we're entering the mix mode. So
Oh,
yeah, so we're getting into the mix mode. Jay Rustin's going to mix it. He did Punch in the Sky and went hands down and did a spectacular job. And we love Jay. And I told him, go, man, just go for it. Just don't feel limited by anything. Just go for it. And I can't wait to see what he comes out with because the tunes are amazing, and I really believe in the songs. It's going to be great. It's going to be a nice continuation of what Armored Saint has done over the last 10 years.
So is it up to the record label to announce or pick a release date?
I think we're talking sometime in the beginning of April. That's the
Okay.
plan right now. So Metal Blade does a great job of planning records and doing all the preparation for it. And they want a lot of leeway to a lead time, should I say, to do the record correctly, which we're all in favor of. So it seems like a long time away still because it's only September and the record's April. So that's like 8 months from now. It sounds like an eternity, but we were busy and we got things going on, and then 26 will be a pretty busy year and playing new tunes, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to try to play some of these tunes live.
Yeah, Armored Saint have a packed schedule, and then you have the 3 shows to, I'm guessing, close the year, right? After those 3 shows, you don't have anything else in your...
Yeah, you kind of don't. I mean, you could do whatever you want as a band, of course, but usually the label kind of frowns on playing new tunes before the record's released because
Right,
then,
of course.
with YouTube and everything, people got it, and it's like you don't want to release that until the actual record or at least the first couple of videos come out. I'm sure we'll make a couple videos and certainly a couple songs will be singles that will come out prior to the actual record release. So realistically, I would say something like February, you'll probably hear a new Armored Saint song.
And I'm guessing we will see Armored Saint here in Chicago with the new album, right?
Pardon?
We will see Armored Saint here in Chicago, right?
Well, of course, Armored Saint loves Chicago, and of course, Armored Saint will be doing a lot of touring in conjunction with the new record and playing new songs live. It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. John, thank you very much. I don't want to strain your voice. Go ahead and practice, learn those songs, and see you in St. Charles in
All
December.
right, brother. Thank you for all the love and support. Appreciate it. We'll see you there.
Always.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Dimitri.
Bye-bye.
Bye.